Hey, real quick. So in this video, I was playing Call of Duty, just trying to make a gameplay video, and then I just started talking out of nowhere about books because I recently started reading a lot more books. And since I started, I kind of wanted to do book reviews here and there, but I never really knew how. And then for whatever reason, I just started talking about my history of reading books and whatnot. I just like started out of nowhere because I mentioned, hey, no, as I was playing, I was like, hey, I'm reading this book. And I can't find when I initially started talking about reading the book. So it feels like it's going to start abruptly. But this is a video structure that I feel like I'm gonna try out some more. So hope you enjoy. All right, warm up is over. I'm gonna try to do a quick little video. I got gold with one of the submachine guns already, and now I'm just here with the Ram 9 trying to level it up. I need hip fire kills. I think I got it actually. Got it. Well, I'll take it. So, I know I wanted to keep this as a gaming channel, but I actually started reading books this year, and I'm almost done with... What was that? I'm almost done with Jurassic Park. This is my 7th book I'll be finishing this year, and so far it's really good. It's a lot. It follows a lot of what the movie follows a lot what came in here. Some changes to characters. Some characters do more stuff. Some characters said things that other characters did, but overall, growing up in high school, I always thought it was dumb being like, oh, the book was better. People that said the book was better, I always thought they were pretentious. Nah, legit, the book is better because they flesh out a lot of stuff. So let me check here. What do I got for the Ram? So 25 hip fire kills, and then it's off to 10 operator kills while crouching. Got to get to level 16 though. I'm barely in level 11, so we're gonna keep it with hip fire kills. I didn't do an intro. I'm really bad with intros. It's super awkward for me, but this is the skin grind. And yeah, I was playing for like 10 minutes, so I might just cut it to where I just started talking about the book because there's not much to talk about it. So I find it that I can speak more when it comes to trying to make a video when I'm not listening to everything that's going on. Small maps, doesn't really matter. You don't need to listen to too much because there's too much chaos going on. It's respawn. You're going to come back. You're going to get your get back. Whatever. Revenge kill. Do a little flexing. And we're good. Hip fire kills. So, what else have I been reading? I think double kill. Whoa. Keep getting notifications. So, as far as reading, I didn't read too much growing up, or at all growing up. I got the hip fire kills already. Okay, cool. But my wife reads a lot, and she inspired me to read a lot more. So that's what I decided to do. Now, I read books here and there, books that she recommended and all that. But I started reading, I want to say 2022, like as an adult, like actually reading, finishing books and stuff like that. I started off with the basics, Harry Potter and Percy Jackson because of the podcast. This dude, his name is Mike Schubert. He did this podcast because he read the children's book as an adult, analyzing it. I liked it. I liked following his lead. And I think is when Dune, it was around the same time Dune was announced, and that it was a book. I I don't remember talking about it too much or hearing about it too much. But for whatever reason, I wanted to read it before the movie came out. Because the last time I read a book before the movie came out was for it was for The Hunger Games. Ironic that I'm playing this game and I can't remember. It was called The Hunger Games, but I read The Hunger Games and I remember that was my first like taste of like what people meant when they said that the book was better. Anyway, about Dune, it was a struggle for me to read it because it's a dense book. It's not like a good starter book, but I still got it. And then the only thing that got me through it was the audiobook, the dramatized audiobook. So I did that and it helped me out. So I think I can crouch now. I don't know. I have to double check. I'm just gonna level up. I think there's somebody. Yep. Ooh, couldn't get him. What was I saying? I always lose my train of thought. I don't know why I'm talking about books while I'm playing Call of Duty, but I just decided to do it. I bought it, got through it. Wasn't really the easiest to get through, right? I couldn't just read it by itself. I had to listen to an audiobook. And audiobooks are actually super helpful to get through books that you want to read. Because me only reading books as an adult, I don't have that much time anymore to actually sit down and read like I did when I was a kid. So audiobooks is a very, very helpful tool for me to get through books. Now, in 2024, I decided to, well, before all that, in 2022, when I started reading, I wanted to make content over it, but I didn't know how. I always wanted to be a gamer on YouTube. That was a dream for everybody, right? It's a dream for a bunch of people today. I wanted to read books and then review them, or like do like what some people call a reading vlog, where you're just updating as you progress through the book. And I was doing that on TikTok with my wife's favorite book, A Court of Thorns and Roses. And it was super cringy. I'm trying to make sure they're not. It was super cringy for me as far as making content. I don't know how to do it on TikTok. TikTok is brand new, so I dropped it, and I still continued reading books. So in 2024 is when I decided, you know what, I'm gonna make a challenge for myself, because since 2022, I read the Harry Potter, I read Percy Jackson, but then I slowed down or stopped at the 5th book of Percy Jackson. Now the 6th book is out. I still need to get that, but as far as the 5th book, I stopped reading it halfway, and then here and there picked up another book. So in 2024 is when I decided, you know what? No, I'm going to read the most amount of books I've ever read in this year. The challenge was 12 books, at least one book per month. And now we're 4 months in, and I read 6 books, about to finish my 7th, which is this Michael Crichton Jurassic Park. I even went all in and I bought these book sets, these leather-bound book sets for Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. And then I also bought 3 more books, or 2 technically, because I already read Dune. I just wanted the hard copy. I bought it, and I bought Dune Messiah, the 2nd part. Everybody's hyped over Dune Part 2. Everybody likes it. Everybody bought the first book. I never read the 2nd book. So that's what I decided to do. So for 2024, I think I'm going to do some book reviews. I don't know if I'm going to do it while I play, because I'm going to need my notes and all that stuff. But, this is my first introduction to what I want, the direction I want this channel to go. The beginning arc, so to speak. So this is going to be pilot episode. Just talking about random stuff while I play video games. Talking about books, my latest hobby versus my oldest hobby. Essentially, I'm in an apartment and Upstairs neighbors are very heavy-footed. So talking about all this, I forgot to check what challenge I needed to do. So I'm just going to crouch because I know that's the next challenge I need to do. I don't know if I'm doing it now. So yeah, I'm going to just be crouching around. I think I need something for crouch speed. Or at least just walk around, run around, and then crouch right here. There we go. Up, up. Oh, you were in the corner. Anyway, so now for 2024, I'm 6 books in. One of them is the latest Percy Jackson book. Not the latest Percy Jackson, the 5th Percy Jackson book. And I forget, I don't need a hip fire while I'm crouching. I just need to be crouched. There we go. Percy Jackson, I finished that book. I'm counting it as a book read for 2024 because I finished it in 2024. Another book that I finished and I started, it was one of the very first books that I started reading as an adult because of the Amazon show that was coming out. It's called The Terminal List. It was not as entertaining or as fast-paced as I thought it was gonna be, because it was a new author. The dude, he was a Navy SEAL, so I thought, oh, Navy SEAL, badass, that's for me. It was. I liked it. I liked the show because action, some authors can write action better than others, but not necessarily I forget my train of thought. Anyway, I finished the Terminal List. What's next on my... I finished 6. Oh, the 3-Body Problem. A lot of these books that I'm reading now is just books that they made into shows or movies, right? So it's a lot of those. Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, all the classics, so to speak. I'm reading those. The first book that I decided to pick up, I didn't even realize they were making it into a show. It just happened to be that they were making it into a show, was the 3-Body Problem. It was alright. Very, very science heavy. Science, like sci-fi. Hard sci-fi, I think is what they call it in book talk community. It had a lot of cool like sci-fi tropes, concepts, big idea, big picture type of topics in it. And I really like science fiction. I think I like science fiction more than sci-fi, but still, no, I think I like sci-fi more than fantasy, science fiction more than fantasy. That's what I'm trying to say. And but fantasy, it's good. I haven't read any fantasy books that really I'm gonna dedicate as like, oh, it's my favorite. Because the fantasy books that I am reading are my wife's, The Court of Thorns and Roses, and I finished what's it called? Fourth Wing. I can't believe I blanked on it. It's the most popular book right now on TikTok, Goodreads, whatever. But yeah, I finished that one. It was actually really good. Hot topic about that is that the spicy scenes, so to speak, are better written than in A Court of Blank and Blank, A Court of Thorns and Roses. It was better written. So the only fantasy books I have read is Lord of the Rings. I'm blanking. I really shouldn't be talking about stuff while I'm playing video games, but for some reason it works. It's like I'm entertained and I'm able to speak. But Lord of the Rings, I read The Hobbit. It was okay. Older books are older. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad. Kind of like old games. Kind of like old games are bad because they're old. Older books aren't necessarily bad because they're older books, because you could read it for the history or whatever. But I had a hard time reading The Lord of the Rings because of the writing style. I don't know if it's because it's old or is it because it's British. Because Harry Potter, I also had some things that I didn't understand or couldn't. Like I had a hard time reading. Like I had to reread a lot of it because it was British. So that's where I'm at. Actually, let me pull out my Goodreads because this is how deep into reading books I am now. I made a Goodreads account. Let me just go to my books. So read, as far as read, what I can remember reading as an adult and reading it from high school. Let's go through the books that I've read already. So I'm going to go all the way down. Harry Potter, all 6 of them. A Court of Thorns and Roses, Dune, which is my favorite book. There's still yet a book to dethrone Dune. I don't think there is gonna, but I'm gonna try. Percy Jackson's, the 5 of them. I haven't read the 6th one. Animal Farm, I remember from high school, but I still counted it as books that I have read. Great Gatsby, 1984, A Sea of Monsters, The Last Olympian, Court of Mist and Fury, The Terminal List 1. The first one, because I bought the bundle with 3 books in it. Speaking of video games and talking, let me see where I'm at as far as skins. So I'm not even at level 16 yet, so I just need to level up. I'm at 14. Okay. 3-Body Problem. That one I liked. The writing style was direct because it's a Chinese book and it's translation, so maybe some things get lost in translation. The Hobbits and Fellowship of the Ring, Lord of the Rings. There's also a book called The Outliers. It's a fiction book, I want to say. I've read that one. I actually really like that book. That's one of my top 10s, so to speak. But my reading challenge, 6 out of 12. The 6 books that I've read this year is The Last Olympian, Court of Mist and Fury, Terminal List, 3-Body Problem, The Hobbit, The Fellowship of the Ring, and now it's going to be real soon, probably today, Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park, which is a really good book. So yeah, that is my reading journey. Me trying to figure out what I want to do with this channel exactly and how I actually might end up reviewing books, because there's this dude. Wrong class setup. Okay. There's this dude on YouTube that when I was trying to review A Court of Thorns and Roses, I didn't know how, because I don't know how to speak and I don't know how to review books because it's not my thing. And then when it comes to gaming, I just want to chill and play games. You know what I mean? Like in YouTube, there's like this stigma that you got to be good, you got to be funny. I can't force myself to try to be good or funny without just getting pissed off. So I'm surprised at how well this is working. Me talking about books and then playing video games. So who knows? I might keep this series going. But back on track. There's this dude called Carrie. I want to say Carrie the Snail. You can look it up. His YouTube video is called A Court of Mist and Furies, A Court of Thorns and Roses from a guy's perspective. And that dude, he knows how to review a book. Like or at least I really like his review style, the way he talks about it. And the points that he make is like spot on from a dude's perspective. So anybody watching, if you want, a good actual review from a guy's perspective from a book that's like very female gaze driven, or like a book for chicks, that dude I highly recommend. But he has really good points when it comes to that that book, A Court of Thorns and Roses. One point that he made that really stood out to me was he fell under the stigma of when he was in high school, and that the whole Twilight craze came out, and that me being a high school or middle school, I think middle school for me, high school, around that time, that book was just very like, oh my god, it's such a girl thing. It's like cooties, like type of thing. It was annoying. It was not annoying. Fandom is always going to be annoying depending on where you are. What's up, buddy? It was stigmatized because of Twilight. Like, oh, it's a chick book, so a lot of people are reluctant to read it. I was reluctant to read it. I could barely make it through without rolling my eyes, right? And but I managed to read it, and then upon reading the second book, and I like it. It's a really good fantasy book, and what's it called? Fourth Wing is not. It's not that. It's no different. I liked it too. I think I liked Fourth Wing more because it was more my speed. Because I'm new to this book, fantasy reading in general. So, really good book from TikTok and all that other stuff. What else? I don't know. Anyway, Carry the Snail. Go check him out. But anyway, that is where I'm at so far. As far as reviews and talking about it while playing games, that might be a little different because I'm just talking about just random stuff. I'm talking about things just to talk about them. I don't necessarily have a timeline or notes right now. It's just going off the cuff. And at the same time, grinding. Because this game, Call of Duty, I have a love-hate relationship. I love to play it. I love when I do cool, like, popping off cracked moves, right? But I do end up getting sucked in and just raging, and then wanting to rage quit, and getting taking it too seriously. But reading about books is actually I don't know. I think I'm going in circles at this point. But that's my history with books, and that's where I'm thinking of going with this channel. So I'm gonna continue on playing. If I end up talking about going on to another spiel about books or something like that, then I'll continue talking about it. Oop. So what else can I talk about? I need like notes of topics that I can talk about, but at the same time, I don't know how to keep track. You know what I'm saying? Going off the cuff seems to work for me, although I do tend to babble. But at least I'm babbling and gaming. Is that a good title? I don't think so. Ooh. Oh, Great Gatsby. That's another one I just thought of that I could add to my list of books that I've read. That's my want to read on the, I guess, TBR. There's all these terms and stuff that come with books that I'm learning. I have 18 books on my TBR, and all of these books are just top 10 recommendations from YouTube and Book Talk or whatever. Wonka, actually, I didn't know that was a book. I think that's the Willy Wonka guy. It's relatively new. I thought this was old. Never mind. Oh, Brandon Sanderson. That's a dude that his name has been floating around and tossed around, that he's a good artist, because that's another thing. I always paid attention to books. I never paid attention to the Michael Crichton. That's like big. It's like right there. But I always looked at the title. I judged a book by its cover before reading it. Not really. I give it I look up reviews and see if it being made into a movie or something, that's a very solid indicator of me wanting to read the book, because almost like all the books that I've bought or want to read has been made into a movie or a TV show. I know I already talked about that, but I'm just looking for stuff to talk about because I actually like it. It's calming me down. I'm not raging when I'm playing Call of Duty, which is insane for me to say. So Wonka, that's on my list. Brandon Sanderson is a name that I've seen all around the YouTube and recommendations, stuff like that. Oh, I know the point that I was trying to make. I always paid attention to the book. I never really paid attention to the authors, and the authors, of course, are the ones that wrote it. So I haven't given them much credit, but because I haven't appreciated reading until now. So Michael Crichton, his writing style, I like it. Tolkien, he, it's a there's a big difference. I still need to find out what kind of books I like. What's the phone number? There's somebody's random phone number on there. I need to find out what I like, what I look for in a book, what I look for in an author. I'm still very, very new. It's a habit that I just picked up, and it's a habit I hope I'm gonna keep. Just like this habits that I hope I'm gonna keep. Anyway, next on my to be read is Trust of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. He's actually really cool. For some reason, authors are like older. They're like wise people that for some reason it's like a mystery when it came to authors for me, when I thought about authors, because I never really thought about authors in the past. So seeing Brandon Sanderson like just be on YouTube and talk about the stuff that he's written, the stuff that he likes, the stuff that he, not even necessarily that, just like interacting with other YouTubers. There's this YouTuber called I forget what her name is. Crap. Kind of want to look her up right now. Two YouTubers on booktubers I really I subscribe to, and I'm watching like a lot of their content. It's Daniel Green and who's that other lady? Murphy Napper. And she's actually the one that's inspiring me. Well, her and Daniel Green. But her in particular, because she's inspiring me to read manga. Because that's another thing that growing up, I never really got into reading manga, even though I wanted to read manga. Like, it's something I never picked up for whatever reason. I remember buying, like, in the Scholastic book fairs for like middle school or high school. I remember buying a manga for Naruto, and it was when Shippuden. It was when Shippuden barely came out, and I thought I had like a cheat code. I thought it leaked because I always thought that manga came out at the same time the shows, which I don't know how that even would be possible. But I thought it was leaked because I didn't see that episode or whatever it was talking about. And it was very funny memory for me. I bought 2 of them. I read them, and I thought it was cool reading from right to left versus left to right. So yeah, Murphy, she's inspiring me to read manga because I like how she reviews books or manga specifically. She just, talks about the points that she likes and what she thought about it, and you can tell she's very into it. And then Daniel Green, he I like his what's it called, his bookshelf reviews, and just, you know, him in general. He's one of the first I saw on YouTube about book content. So that's where I'm at with what I think about Brandon Sanderson and how he interacted with those. I think he did a video with Murph, and that's how I discovered Murph. That's how I discovered Daniel Green. Apparently Daniel Green also has a book out. I need to look it up, probably put that on my to be read list as well, but we'll see. Now, as far as manga goes, it's just like, oh my god, it's so easy, or it was so simple, because the problem that I also love anime. So that's the thing for me. I'm like an all-around nerd. Video games, anime, now books. I always liked anime. Naruto, my favorite. And I wanted to get into One Piece. I actually was into One Piece for a minute in elementary, actually. Elementary, when Naruto came out, they were all showing One Piece. And I remember that song where it was like, dreaming, don't give it up, Luffy, dreaming, don't give it up, Nami. So that, I remember that. That's like a solid part of my childhood, watching that, you know, waking up on the weekends and putting it in the living room, right? And I got up to the point where it was some episode where they were, I don't know, these two characters, it wasn't the main characters, at least I don't think. It was probably a flashback or something, but it was where two characters were stuck on an island, and they had these big bags, right? I unlocked up skin without trying. Anyway, there was these two characters. One was a kid, one was an older pirate. They had these two bags of food. One of them, the adult pirate gave the kid one of the bags and like, here, make this last as long as possible. Like, you're a cook, you should know how to. I think it was the cook. He's like, you're a cook or whatever, make it last. So he makes it last, and it's gotten to the point where he's basically starving, right? And then he goes, looks at the pirate, and the pirate still has his bag full of like food. And then he goes to stab the bag to try to get food because he's starving at this point. And the bag had like gold. It had treasure in it. This was for One Piece, right? And then that was like, the kid starts crying, and I think that's the latest episode I've seen of One Piece. And then for whatever reason, I just stopped watching it. And then recently, I want to say 2018 is when I tried to pick it back up, and I just, for whatever, no, I don't know when I tried to pick One Piece back up, but it was I couldn't really get back into it because of the one of the level ups or power up modes for Luffy was that he got bloated, and for some reason I didn't like that, and a lot of the animation, because I think didn't age well. A lot of the animation didn't age well for One Piece for me. So I think I'm gonna get the last kill. So I didn't get back into it for that reason. I just kept watching Naruto, and then I got into like what is it called? One Punch Man. More recently, Jujutsu Kaisen and all that stuff. But I stopped watching anime because it just got to the point where it was like a lot. Like, I couldn't catch up. And then for One Piece, because he gets where he gets like super powerful, where he's like a comic book character now for some reason. Luffy. I wanted to get back into it, but there was no way I was gonna watch 1,000+ episodes. But back to the whole reading books thing and discovering Murphy on YouTube. She reviews manga, and then I was like, the manga, because a lot of the problem with like Dragon Ball Z and One Piece wanting to start from the beginning is that the pace is just slow. It is super slow. I mean, Naruto is slow too. Like, it has a lot of panning and a lot of like repetitive scenes and a lot of just like talking and staring at each other. I thought that would be the same. You would get the same effect in the manga, but you don't. You actually get to the point quicker because a lot of the still shots, a lot of the repetitive shots, a lot of the recapping, a lot of the flashbacks is cut severely in the manga. So that's another thing I'm gonna pick up reading wise, and I'm probably gonna start with One Piece. And if I do want to do a review on them, I'll probably just do this, have a little bit of notes out, talk about the points that I wanted to talk about, and yeah, leave it at that. So I feel like that's what I'm gonna do. I've been searching. I've been trying to figure out what I like, what works for me, and for the first time doing this, playing video games and talking about books, or at least my history with books, I like it. I feel like it works. Level 16. I need to get to level 24. So yeah, I think I've ran out of stuff to talk about. I'll probably cut it here and then continue playing. If I end up talking about anything else, then I'll talk about that. But anyway, let's see, what? Oh, 19. I'm level 19 barely. Damn, I need to really step it up. Book adaptations. Did I talk about book adaptations? I think I did. Oh, my to be read. That didn't take long. Next to be read is To Kill a Mockingbird. I have no idea what To Kill a Mockingbird is about, other than people talk about it like it's like I think it's a good, like a one of those impactful books, not necessarily just a good book. It's one of those books you need to read. Ooh. Thank you. It's one of those books you like got to read before whatever happens. Let me actually change this back to the sword if we got a shield guy out here. And I think somebody has like a learning disability and kills somebody accidentally. That's probably what I gathered from it. What are you looking at, dude? Oh. What I gathered from that book and what I've known about that book. Oh, you could have that, buddy. I think he's in here. Not who I was looking for. Oh, I got lucky with the trip mine. But yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird, I think it might have even been a school assignment, but I didn't read it because I didn't like reading. I just really didn't like reading as a kid. He got his lick back. So my history with reading, it's bad. Because I always prefer to do this, play video games, right? And I don't know if I had trouble reading, if I'm dyslexic or whatever. But reading was never... I don't know if it was easy because I never tried, or it was easy because I'm undiagnosed dyslexic. I don't think I am. There's a lot of relatability when it comes to people that say they have dyslexia and people who are just tired. That's what I think. So I don't know if I'm just tired most of the time. Oh, you got me. You're good. You see, this is insane. I would have been screaming at my monitor right now if it wasn't just, talking about other stuff. Trying to win and stuff like that. But I remember, I don't know if it was because I was failing reading class or what, but my mom got after me for not doing homework or not doing good at school. It was a reading assignment and stuff like that. So that left a bitter taste in my mouth. And then I just didn't like reading because I always preferred to, just watch movies, shows, or play video games. And then I remember one summer, my mom was like, "You are going to read." And I know you like Harry Potter, so she bought me Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, I want to say, because she didn't know the numbering when it came to books, I guess. And then I went to Florida to visit my aunt for the summer, and she like humored my mom. She's like, "Okay, yeah, I'll make him read." And I tried reading a little bit, but I just never got into it growing up. And then the Twilight books happened, and I was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna read." So that's my brief history with reading. And then it took meeting my wife to make me want to pick up a book and actually read. And I ended up enjoying it. If I didn't enjoy reading books, I wouldn't be, I'd just be, playing video games, raging, yelling at kids and all that stuff. I think it's an age thing or a maturity thing, really. It's not necessarily an age thing. It's like a maturity. There's a certain level of maturity that I feel some kids need if they're going to end up, reading books. And I just wasn't that. It took me up to like my late 20s for me to read. So I don't know what that says about me necessarily, but there you go. To quote Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park, there it is. What else do I like? I'm just talking about fandom and my past at this point. Star Wars. I think there was a Star Wars book I tried to read. I even tried just reading regular comic books, but never really got into it. Comic books. I was just really, really into video games, and then YouTube, whenever YouTube came out. And when I learned that people make money off of YouTube, then I was like, what? That's my dream job. And then every other kid said the same thing, and now we got just everybody trying to be a content creator. But so am I. I'm not bashing it or anything like that. Ooh, I almost had him. It's just, Oof. A little explanation on why I'm doing this video, I guess. So there you have it. We'll see if I cut it here and what else I want to talk about. What's up, buddy? Oof. This might not actually be edited that much. Just continue playing like normal until we win. Or which is going to be soon. We're pretty much almost already got the win the game in a sec. There it is. So there you have it. There's a new video series style review history of me reading and all that stuff. So we'll see if I we didn't have that many. Anyway, so we'll see how this video structure is what I was trying to say. We'll see how this video structure fares and how I like it. if I have to edit too much, which I don't think so. And I'll actually start my first book review using this format. Oh, I didn't even finish talking about the books I wanted to read: Red Rising, Project Hail Mary, Of Mice and Men, Lord of Flies, It, Iron Flame, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Frankenstein, Final Empire, Mistborn, Dune Messiah, Do Androids Dream of Sleep, which is the Blade Runner, Dark Matter, Count of Monte Cristo, Brave New World, and The Alchemist. I think I remember reading The Alchemist in high school, but I never finished it. So, and then I'm also, continue playing Call of Duty because, skin grind is a long process. I don't mind it. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. Hope you enjoyed. Hope I made sense, and hope I keep this video structure. Hope I like this video structure, and I'm gonna do my next book review with this video structure. I'm gonna have to figure out how. I feel like I'm gonna have to really pay attention to the books, make a lot of notes. I'll try putting like a little note tab here, and then just talk about it. So there you have it. You watching, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.